in some ways, it's actually a great result for Liverpool because it could have really been, it should have been 5 or 6 in that game. I mean, the gulf between the two teams was absolutely startling, really. When you consider last season, yes, Liverpool got back to the PSG and they won 1-0, we know that. But the second leg at Anfield was a really close game, 2 top teams. Liverpool then go and spend 450 million, probably a lot more than PSG spent in the summer. And to see the gulf there, I think, is worrying. And you think, how's it got to that? How's it got that bad, really? And when you think of sort of the manager, how he's set up tonight, and he's tried something. OK, he's tried something, but he's got it massively wrong tactically about how he went about it. Now, it's easy for me to say that after the event, but that's what we do with pundits. We speak, you know, after the event in the game. And he went about it with the back 5 all wrong. And they were actually more open with the back 5 than they would be with a back 4. Because they went man-to-man all over the pitch, and your 3 centre-backs had to cover the width of the pitch. And for Virgil van Dijk, watching him tonight in the middle of a back 3, and normally when you get to a certain age, you think, oh, middle of a back 3, perfect for me, that, getting on. But everyone's in position, everyone's here, you're getting a bit of protection, you're in your back 5. This was different. Defenders were jumping into here, into midfield, there was no one to mark. And Virgil van Dijk, at 34 years of age, was having to run in there, he was having to run across. He couldn't do it. And people have criticised Van Dijk this season for his performances, and I think it's been harsh. Because I think he plays every game. The fella next to him's just, I mean, awful all season. Poor again tonight. Canati makes a mistake every game. So that's not easy to play alongside. So I still think he's actually been one of Liverpool's better players, Virgil van Dijk. But tonight in that back 3, I have never seen him so uncomfortable in a Liverpool shirt in my life. And I think he'll be pleading with Arne Slot to never play that system ever again because, he found it so tough. And we'll look at that later on when we analyse the goals. But what I must also say, it's not just the system of Liverpool and getting it wrong tactically. PSG were absolutely out of this world. And the biggest compliment I can give them, it was like watching Pep Guardiola's Barcelona.
Very good. I want to go back to that, the potential penalty that we saw that wasn't given there. If we can roll that back in again. Thierry, your thoughts on this?
I'm back to my normal self. Those discussions, no, you know, the referee saw it. I thought it was maybe. Then you have to give Konate maybe that he put his leg. For me, there is a tiny bit of, you know, I can see how sometimes, you know, Konate would have found it difficult because he put his legs, he blocks the shot, but then it disturbs. For me, there is an opportunity after, actually, when Konate pushes Nuno Mendes, where he's actually clearer than that for me. Because as a striker, if you push me when I'm about to shoot, then you are going to unbalance me. But let's go back to the opportunity here. And then, as you can see, Dembele, that's what I was talking about. Smashing the ball on the post. And yeah, the goalkeeper got saved by his post at the end of the very day.
And the fast breaks we talked about before the show, I mean, brilliant. Ooh. I mean, Hakimi is just a running machine. But again, he should be finishing it off. Make it 3-0. Ties over then. It's not. He takes a touch, and maybe he should hit it first time, but Hakimi again was outstanding. Maybe it's a little bit behind him. He didn't want to go with his right foot, tries to go on his left, take that extra touch. But it wasn't meant to be. And keeps Liverpool alive at Anfield. And I said on my pod, award-winning pod, that Liverpool in Europe...
Off?
What do you mean? Who did you get?
The award season hasn't even been done yet.
Well, it's award-winning. Do your research.
I'll tell you what, we're going to take you out to Anita, who has spoken to Virgil van Dijk.
Well, I'm looking after the team. You know, that's for me the main thing. Speaking to players, we obviously have obviously not too many sessions between the games, but you know, between sessions I have certain conversations, and I need to look after the boys, and I need to look after how we are mentally in the best shape. And today I think everyone was ready. Everyone showed the right mentality. And that you lose it today, obviously, that's disappointing. And that's something, in my opinion, Liverpool should not accept, and we should not accept. That's not the standard I'm personally used to, especially over all those years I've been at the club. So that's why it hurts all the time, and especially the weekend one was a very painful one. But there is still an opportunity. And, you know, if we obviously first have a big game on the weekend, by the way, of course. And then we have to be ready, hopefully, for a very special night. And like I said, it's so important to be together. And I'm not only speaking about the team. You know, I'm speaking about as a club, as a unit. You know, I've been.
Do you feel there's been a sense of fragmentation then?
No, I don't even know what that means, by the way. But
just maybe not been together as much.
No, the thing is, like, you know, our season has been so inconsistent, and it's down to multiple factors, and the noise, you know, is there because we are Liverpool. We are the champions we're the Premier League champions. So the noise is absolutely justified. So, you know, as me, for me personally, it's not been an easy season to, you know, to handle everything that comes our way. Like, I'm not speaking about me because I've never been selfish in that sense. You know, it's always about us, me, and the club always will go number one.
You want to respond in any way?
No, listen. What I would say about Virgil van Dijk, he's always been a true leader on the pitch, and he is a true leader for me off the pitch. He gets questioned a little bit when Liverpool aren't doing well by supporters about, is he, you know, leadership on the pitch? But that always happens when a team's not winning. You're always pointing fingers. For me, he's been a fantastic captain, a fantastic player for Liverpool, and he always comes out and speaks, and I respect that, because not everybody does right now. But I said at the start of the season, and nothing's changed in that, what you're seeing here with Liverpool, and there's lots of different things that are wrong, but you're watching 3 all-time greats. In the goalkeeper, Alisson, he's always had injuries, he's getting them more now, he's not the same goalkeeper. Virgil van Dijk, as we know, he's not quite the same. Who is at 34? Mo Salah's the same. Who is at 33 as an attacking player? I'm never going to criticise them as players. They're legends, they've done so much for the club. And they've carried players, and that's not criticising the other players, because that's Thierry at Arsenal. Well, that's Bergkamp. You always have 4 or 5 great players who carry the rest with them. So what you're watching here now is Salah and Virgil van Dijk, who were absolutely out of this world last season, carried Liverpool to the title. They're not the same players, and the others aren't quite good enough to step up. And then you've also got new players who come into the team. And I think they've got away with quite a bit of criticism, actually, the new signings, because we've almost said, OK, the new signings, they're getting up to speed. And Ekitike was really poor tonight. And I said before the game, and I include Wirtz in this, and Isak as 3 players who've come in. To be a top player for Liverpool as an attacking player, you need to be arrogant on the ball, but humble off the ball. They're not humble off the ball. They don't do enough off the ball, and that's why it's so easy to play against Liverpool right now. What are we laughing at?
I'm not laughing.
Well, don't laugh.
I'm not laughing, man.
Oh, we'll see you in that boxing fight.
My mum loved that phrase, by the way. She texted me about that phrase. She liked it.
Arrogant on the ball.
Yes.
I hope so. He said it 50 times
well, you know.
since the beginning of the show.
Well, it's the theme. I was proven right, wasn't I?
Yes, you were.
I was proven right.
Deep breath.
So they're the problems, and we'll get to even more of them later on. But listen, we said the same all season. 3 legendary players come to the end of their career, new players coming in and not quite knowing exactly what they need to do to play for Liverpool right now. And I include Isak, who come on there again, Ekitike, and Florian Wirtz, who has got to do an awful lot more. And the best way you could describe Florian Wirtz right now is cost 125 million. Is he's neat and tidy.
I wasn't laughing. That was Jamie Carragher. I'm laughing at the fact he was about to go to a break 5 minutes ago.
Do you remember at the beginning of the day, Jamie came in and said, I'm pretty good.
Really, it's okay. I don't expect a lot.
Chill.
Wow, the whole thing was about you.
Everybody, we'll be back after a break. We'll bring you more.
There's more analysis from me. I'm not shutting up later on.
Can we go home then?
OK, guys, why don't we hear from Arne Slot? He's been speaking to Jules Breach and see what he made of that game.
Arne, how do you reflect on that result?
If you reflect on the whole game, I think we should be lucky with only losing 2-0 because they had more chances than the only goals they scored. Although the first goal was, of course, felt hard because we hardly haven't given anything away, and then a deflected shot goes in. But afterwards they had enough chances to score more, and I think it's very good for us that we're still in the tie, and that we can now bring them to Anfield, and we all know how much of a difference Anfield can make for us.
Because it is only 2-0, as you say, how crucial could some of Mamardashvili's saves turn out to be in this tie?
Yeah, very crucial. I watched the game yesterday between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, and I saw Manuel Neuer being very, very, very important for Bayern Munich, making a lot of good saves, and I think that's what Georgie had for us to do. But you need performances like that against a team like Paris Saint-Germain. You need a hard-working team that tries to do everything to prevent them from scoring. I think that's what we saw, but it was difficult. But the moment when we needed Georgie, he was there for us. Unfortunately for him, the first one was deflected, but he played a very good game today.
You frustrated you didn't create more chances, though?
Yes and no. Yes, because we want to create much more. No, because there was not a lot to create for us. They were just having the ball a lot, incredible tempo and pace all over the place. I think you could see that we've tried many times to press them high, and a few times that was working, but a lot of times also then they were able to play through us. So when we went man to man, especially in the first half, 2 or 3 times they played the ball in behind and run off us, and I think that happened in the second half a few times as well. So maybe when we were in a low block we have hardly conceded, although the first goal was of course when we were in a low block. And there were a few times players of us in promising positions. I think Hugo had a few times a moment where he was one-on-one with Marquinhos, but yeah, that's also their quality. They just keep going, and then as a number 9 or Hugo, whoever it is probably a bit tired the moment when he has to show up, and that's also part of their quality. But I stood here similar last season, although we won 1-0, but the game was exactly the same, and the game at Anfield was completely different. So we're happy that we're still in this tie.
Okay, Arne Slot there saying, look, they are fortunate to only concede 2. Maka, we'll show you what he's talking about. Dembele had a few chances. Yep. The goalkeeper was really good tonight as well. Tell us.
Yes, Mamardashvili was excellent tonight when called upon, because of course the ghost of Alisson last year was so good here, so he needed a big night. The first goal was unfortunate, but you're right, Liverpool benefited tonight on poor finishing by Paris Saint-Germain, and particularly Dembele. He should have scored a couple. He's normally in great form, isn't he? And he hit the post a couple of times, and he tried to walk one in late on in the game, but he could easily have had a hat-trick. So you could have, you know, the only saving grace, we keep going back to it as frustrated Liverpool fans, is that they're still in the tie because of, you know, not because of the way they played necessarily, because of just certain circumstances within the game, then missing chances. So they've got an opportunity, but it could have been out of reach tonight easily.
Yeah, listen, they've got a fighter's chance. They've got a small chance, and that's the only positive to take away. If you look at the stats, we watched the game, it was complete domination. PSG controlled the majority of the game. I think the tactics from Liverpool and the shape and the formation contain them in certain parts of the game, but overall, you look at the passes, 744 to 200 and odd. No shots on target from Liverpool. You know,
26% possession as well.
That's not Liverpool.
That's never Liverpool.
That's not Liverpool. But I agree with the manager. I thought his interview was really good. It was honest. And the biggest positive to take away is they are in it. You score first next week. The atmosphere will be different. Liverpool will be more bold, more aggressive. They can put more attackers on the pitch. So that's the takeaway for Liverpool fans and for the team and the manager.
It's the first time they haven't registered a shot on target in the Champions League since November 2020. That was against Atalanta at Anfield. Just something to think about. We're going to get a chance to speak to Luis Enrique now, the PSG boss. He's speaking with Jules.
Luis, congratulations. Are you pleased with that scoreline or frustrated you weren't able to kill the game off?
I think it's a pity because I deserve a little more. We could score more goals and we created clear chances, especially in the second half. But that's football, it's normal, you have to accept that. We are trying to recover as soon as possible and try to focus on the next match in Anfield.
Are you surprised by the way Liverpool set up tonight? It's not their usual shape.
No, I know Arne Slot is a great coach and it's the first time that they play with 5 back, but we are used to watch other teams changing all the time formation to play against us. It's normal. I think they played a great match. It was difficult. Physicality, they are very strong. A lot of quality players, individual quality players, and it was a very nice match. It's always a pleasure playing against Arne Slot and their teams because they try to play football and offensive way, and yeah, it was nice for watch.
Talk us through that second goal. 27 passes led to Kvaratskhelia scoring. Just a bit of individual brilliance from him at the end.
we have that idea to play in football in that way, and today I think the connection between the supporters, the ambience dans le stadium, and the attitude of the players, it's amazing, and we are connected, and that's very nice.
Do you expect a very different game at Anfield?
It's normal. We are going to prepare that match the best way, but we are going to suffer in Anfield because Anfield is a stadium also special, but we are looking forward to playing that match.
Your players have a rest before then. Is that an advantage?
Tomorrow and after tomorrow, 2 days for rest and have fun.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
OK, guys, look, I loved his reaction when he said it's going to be a different story at Anfield. Of course it is. Liverpool have got to be Liverpool at Anfield and not what we've seen tonight.
They've got to be different, but I think the atmosphere is going to be in Liverpool's favour. I think the manager will pick a more bold team, more aggressive team. I think it'll have more firepower in it, and if Liverpool can get off to the right start and get the noses in front, everyone knows the atmosphere and the power of Anfield can help them on the day.
You agree, Maka?
Absolutely, yeah. The fans are going to have to drag them forward. They're going to need a little bit of fortune at times. They're going to need something to happen to spark a result into life, but they can certainly do it.
Yeah, but before then, a massive match against Fulham. It just does not get easier, does it?
Are you? Okay, all good?
Hi.
Are you good?
All right. Hello, bye.
Jamie, let's see.
Yeah, sorry, guys, trying to get us off air. We've had so many cuddles tonight. It's been wonderful. Look, there's loads more football to tell you about here in our little studio. Go on, Stevie, go grab him. We'll probably get in a little bit of trouble, won't we?
We'll get lots of trouble.
Hello, Mo. How you doing? He's not.
Don't worry.
No, it's fair enough.
Okay. Good.
Lovely to see you. Very well, thank you. A funny night, really. We can't ask him, obviously. We understand. Look, we get our certain ramifications. But how would you be feeling if you were Mohamed Salah watching on that?
And he made 5 substitutions.
Yeah, frustrated, because I think he'd be sitting there thinking I would back myself to influence this game and improve proceedings, certainly from going forward point of view. So I think he'll be a little bit sad and frustrated. But credit to him, he's just stayed behind there and done extra running, because if there wasn't a midweek game, Wednesday probably would be a big session. So in his mind, he's already got his mind on Fulham and he's doing extra work, which shows the pro and the mentality that you're dealing with.